Hello, everyone. Welcome to NerdChat. Are you cold? Because Rick is.
I'm cold as hell right now.
I would be cold, but I didn't go outside like you did. So, where were we last? So, Dark Knight's Metal #1 is the last thing we went over, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, at the end of that, you remember Batman turned on Red Tornado and escaped and ran away on the Raptor.
Mm-hmm.
And there was some other stuff. But anyway, so
he's got Hawkman's journal.
He's got Hawkman's journal. Right, yes, that was the last thing that happened. You found the journal.
Mm-hmm.
So this starts off with, like every single one of these, Carter Hall's journal, having a little narration. And he's talking about Krona, the beginning of the universe. Because you know who Krona is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Krona, for anyone who doesn't know, he was like a guardian that kind of went rogue, and he wanted to see the beginning of the universe. So he did. So he built a machine, went back to the very beginning, and then there's that. So DC, at the beginning of the universe, there's like this hand. It's a hand that like slowly opens up and creates the universe. So it's referencing the hand and how it, created everything. But then we go, so Batman is missing. Like,
how big are the time skips between these issues?
this is, if this feels like hours, like it could not have been long after what just happened.
Okay.
So, but Batman is gone. Like, everyone is looking for Batman. I mean, everyone. I'm talking like the Justice League, Dark, Green Arrow. Like, if there's a hero,
they got Dark involved.
Yeah.
Okay.
If there's a hero, they are looking for Batman. So, in fact, not even just the heroes. Villains kind of want to know where he is too, because they got their own thing going on. But we'll get to that in a bit. So basically, Superman's up in space and he's looking around, like he's listening for Batman's heartbeat, and everyone is off trying to find him. And at some point, Superman's like, a crazy thing that's going on right now is all over the world there are bat signals glowing. Like, huge ones can be seen from space.
Oh, okay.
Because all of these hidden ancient metals are glowing in the shape of giant bat signals. So they just kind of showed up, and everyone's like, where is Batman? Because what we know about Batman right now is he stole something. He stole a weapon. It's, we don't know what the weapon is yet, but we'll find out. So Superman's like, please someone tell me that we found him. And Cyborg's like, we got him. So they're like in the Amazon rainforest, and just like Superman says, all right, hurry, keep your eyes on him. We can catch him. He's only one man. And Cyborg's like, yeah, we'll take note of that.
But he is Batman.
That's not where the joke comes in. He's just one man, but there's like 5 Batmans. Like on motorcycles, like just running through the forest. And then there's Damian, who's in like this big honking truck. And woman's like, Damian, pull over. And he's like, I am 13 years old, driving through the Amazon rainforest on a Tuesday morning in a truck. I'm winning. So and he's like, family scatter. So it's all the Bat family, obviously.
Yeah, because at the end of when I was editing, I did notice that he said to Alfred to call in the family.
Yeah. So it's everyone. They're all disguised as Batman, and not just like simply in like cape and cowl. Like they are like have like this face changing technology that they look exactly like Bruce.
Oh God.
So
yes.
They continue. They try to run away, and they all have backpacks, and they're like, one of them has the weapon. We need to find it. So they find one of them is being chased by Hawkman, and he keeps making fish jokes at him. He's like, don't worry guys, I got one on my line, time to reel him in. And he like looks forward, Aquaman's in front of him, he's like, fish jokes. He's like, you just made a joke about netting us all. He's like, unless I make them. But anyway, so this is the whole Bat family. They're all, well, with the exception of Tim. During this time, this is the time where Tim is dead. But there's also a great exchange with Flash that this is, I have a reference for. So Flash is running after Batman. He's like, flash fact, Batman, about the human brain. It's the fastest neurons in it travel at about 120 miles per second. That's about the limit of speed of thought. And yeah, you're pretty smart. And then he like runs up to one of the Batmen, and he's like, "Bat fact about the human brain: it weighs 15 pounds when encased in ice." Huh? And then like this bat thing just shoots ice at him like up from the trees, and then Barry just falls over. And whichever Batman this is, he's smirking. So they catch pretty much all of them. So we find out the last one is Nightwing.
Okay.
And they the whole league corners him, and they're like, "We know it's you, Nightwing. Like whatever Bruce has, it's dangerous, and we need to have that weapon." And he's like, "Just hand it over." So he's like, "Oh, I'll hand you over a weapon." So he takes this one plant like out of his backpack. And they're like, "Thought you had a weapon." It's like, "Oh, it's a weapon to plants." And they're like, "What do you mean?" And he like explains it. Like, if it touches the ground, it'll kill like all plant life in the world. And they're like. And then one of them is like, "Wait, Cyborg, what are our coordinates?" And he's like, "We're at... Oh no, this is the Parliament of Trees." And Swamp Thing is like, "What are you doing in my swamp?"
Oh god, no!
Swamp Thing just starts ripping through the league. Nightwing's just like, "I'm fucking out.
Shit, get out of here."
But...
Oh, man.
After that, it goes back to Damian. And Damian's in the truck, and there's a Batman in the back. And so Batman's just like, "Quick, Damian, we gotta get out of here." So Damian's like, "All right, what's the plan? Where's the rendezvous point?" And Superman just swoops through the truck and just takes Batman. He's like, "I am sick of these games. I know your heartbeat. I know you from anywhere. I can find you. And I'm sick of this." And this is when Batman finally explains to the League everything that's been going on. So with all the metals, so he goes through all of the metals that he actually has come in contact with. So so the Judas tribe, which is I covered them, I think, in the casting. They showed up at the end.
Yeah.
So they have been prepping Batman this whole time for something called the mantling. So the mantling is him coming into contact with all these metals, and he explains, he's like, so first there was Electrum, which he came across during the Court of Owls storyline. Like, he got trapped in that big labyrinth, and he found this fountain, and that's when he came into contact with that. Then there was Dionysium, when he and the Joker fought to death, and that's when he got healed, and he lost his memories, never thought he was Batman, that whole ordeal. Then, after that, there was Prometheum, which was in the machine that gave Bruce's memories back after that whole ordeal.
Okay.
It was a machine that he designed to make sure there would always be a Batman. It was something that would pretty much give a new person all of the trauma and all of the skills and all of the
it would
mindset
just turn
of
them
Batman.
into Batman.
Yes. So he had to use that in order to become Batman again. And then there was Nth Metal, which he got from when he looked into the Dark Multiverse, and they had to recreate that machine in the casting.
Okay.
It was what happened towards the end of that. So, but he knows that there's a fifth metal. He doesn't know what it is or where it's from or what it's going to be, but once he touches it, he'll become the doorway. So he needs to, he has a plan of how he's going to stop it. And he also talks about, so the Judas tribe, they've actually been slowly over time, kind of just adding, they've been blending these metals into structures from all over the world. So the Daily Planet globe has these metals in it, and they're becoming conduits for dark energy from the dark multiverse.
Oh, okay.
So the whole world is not okay.
So
storms everywhere.
It's like some Illuminati shit going on.
Yeah,
too.
this is way bigger than anyone thought it was. Anyone. No one was prepared for what's about to happen. So, and at some point, as Batman's explaining his, he's like, "I have a plan, but we need to get far away from here." Superman punches through Batman. Everyone's like, "What did you do?" And he has a transmitter, which everyone's been looking for these transmitters. Batman left them everywhere. He left them in a Wall of Souls. He left one in Gorilla City. They're all over the place.
My God. And
they're transmitting Batman's heartbeat. And he finds one in this Batman. It's Clayface, because Clayface has been working for Batman.
Oh, God.
And he's like, "Hey, I got Batman down pretty good, right?"
Fucking Clayface.
It's so good.
Oh, it's beautiful. I love it.
So this is when we cut away. and it goes to Kendra, and she is she's at the Antarctic like lava pits, and it's totally so a thing rises from it. It's the Legion of Doom like headquarters. Like the classic one that you expect, like
really?
from the swamp. Yeah,
that's
he's
cool.
Like, sorry about the headquarters. I'm going to be using it for something else, and it's Vandal Savage. So she goes inside, and it's all the Immortals.
Oh my God.
And
Okay.
they're talking about they have a plan for how they're going to stop Barbados, and the plan is they have the brain of the Anti-Monitor. I don't know why they do.
Why?
I don't know, but they do. They do, and that's what's important here. They have the brain of the Anti-Monitor.
Well, I guess
And
that's a
their
weapon
plan-
to use.
Their plan is to like shoot it through the Rock of Eternity, to have the antimatter and the positive matter collide, and it should destroy the dark multiverse. And Kendra's like, that's a bad idea, and the rest of them are like, doesn't matter. We all voted that's happening. You have to do it. She's like, great. So, then at that point, Raish is like, I've known the detective for a long time. Like, I know I'm the youngest one here, which is weird to think about. He's the youngest of the Immortals. But he's like,
he's not even 1,000 yet.
No, he's like, I've known the detective a long time. If I know anything, he's trying to confront Barbados head on. He has a plan, and he's going to try to fight this. So he's like, where would that lead him? And then Kendra is like, oh no. And then we cut to Batman, and Batman he's like coming down into this big old tomb, and he's talking to Dream. Dream is there. And he's like, I know of your plan, Batman. And he's like, tell me, Dream, am I doing the right thing? He's like, I can't tell you. I can't tell you if you're doing the right thing or not. He's like, I need to know. I need to know if I'm doing what is the right move here, because everything's at risk.
I like that. That's cool. I like the Dreams in this.
Yeah, it's weird.
Did not expect him.
Yeah, he comes back later on, too.
Cool.
So he's a bigger part of this than I expected. And I haven't seen Dream in anything for a while. But this tomb that he's in is the tomb of the Hawks, of Kendra and Carter's like first death.
Oh, okay.
From their like Egyptian times when they first came into contact with the Nth metal and all that. So that's where they are, or that's where he is. And then he moves a little bit forward and he finds that Superman and Wonder Woman beat him to the tomb, like they found him, and they're like, "Dude, this has gone too far. Like, hand over the weapon." And that's when Batman takes out his secret weapon. It's Baby Darkseid.
Oh no! Why does he have that? Did he steal him from Grail?
Yeah, he did.
Oh god!
That's exactly what happened. He's like, we don't have a lot of time because Grail's gonna notice that he is missing.
Oh my god! You dumbass, Batman! No!
But his plan is he came to get Hawkman's mace. So he came to get that, and he's going to use the Omega sanction that sent him back in time in the first place, that caused all of this, in order to go back in time to find the one time that Barbados walked the Earth, and he's going to use the mace to put Barbados back into the dark multiverse for good.
Oh, okay, cool.
But by doing this, it will erase the concept of Batman, because Barbados set in motion for Batman to become Batman. Mm-hmm. So, like, Bruce, you know this is a one-way trip. He's like, I know what this is, but everything's at stake, and this is the only way to stop him. Because I am one touch of a metal away from becoming the doorway to the dark multiverse. What else am I supposed to do? And he hangs his head down low. He's like, just look after my family. Just make sure that they're okay, and especially look after Damian. Make sure Damian becomes a better man than I was. Mm-hmm. I need him to be better. And that's at that point, all of these spikes come out of the floor and the wall and just go through Batman. They're thin, but he's stuck, like in like a cone of spikes. Oh. And that's when the Judas Tribe and the Court of Owls reveal themselves.
So the Court of Owls is involved now.
The Court of Owls is from the Bird Tribe.
Oh God.
So they've all been a part of this. They've been a part of the group that's been trying to like make sure the metals get to where they need to be so that they can create these bat symbols and create these conduits and everything. So they explain where the last metal is, and one of them takes Baby Darkseid. He's like, yeah, let's tell you a nice bedtime story.
Probably give him back to Grail before she kills all of us, because we don't need that shit going on now too.
So what happens is one of the Court of Owls members explains about the fifth metal and where it came from. It came from Gotham. So something that they had created or had funded a long time ago was called the Powers Collider, and this created the fifth metal that was forged. It was so it was created in Gotham, and so by the way, Superman and Wonder Woman got like knocked out, like they're like knocked down.
Yeah, I figured.
So that's why they're not like, guys, stop.
Let's do my Kamehameha face lasers and solve that problem.
Yeah. So they're like down on the ground and letting them explain all this stuff. So he explains the Batmanium, which is the last metal.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
It might be pronounced like Batmanium or something.
That's still stupid.
Either way, it's spelled Batman-ium.
That's dumb.
Whatever. It's like this like liquid like red and black metal, and it just drips down onto Batman, and he becomes the portal.
Oh, that's bad.
And they're like, it's time. The Bat God is coming, finally. And they're all excited about this. And Wonder Woman and Superman start to wake up, and they're like, oh no. And Wonder Woman's like, Bruce? Where is Bruce? And they hear through the portal, it's like, you want Bruce Wayne? And then all of the Dark Knights and Barbados come through the portal and say, and all of each of one of them, except for Barbados, says, I'm right here. Because they're all a Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, because they're all Bruce.
So if anyone doesn't know, and we're going to cover each one of their origins, so basically Barbados made his own team, made his own Justice League of all of these evil Batmans that took the powers of like Justice Leaguers. And so there's like one that's the Flash, one that's Green Lantern, one that's Aquawoman. We'll get to that.
They kind of, they don't necessarily take the same powers, but they do replace members of the Justice League with similar
each one of them is an equivalent or better of a Justice League member. So there's one that merged with the Flash and has the Speed Force. There's one that has a Green Lantern ring that he somehow like corrupted to like no end.
Yeah,
there's one that became Doomsday.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about. He doesn't become Kryptonian or anything, but he becomes Doomsday, which is cool.
There's one that takes like the Helmet of War, and he's the Wonder Woman one. There's a gender swapped one that is an Aqua Woman that became like half Atlantean in order to fight.
That's the one I want to know about. I want to be like, how come there's only like one universe where?
Yeah,
there's only like two universes where Batman's a woman.
Yeah,
I feel like that's
not often. So then there's the what's the other one I'm missing? So Green Lantern, Flash, Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquawoman. There's one that's like a cyborg version.
Yeah.
And the last one, there's also the other member is Batman. So
the Batman who laughs.
The Batman who laughs, who's like a Joker Batman hybrid. So we'll explain all of that. We're going to cover all the tie-ins next. That's the next thing we're going to take down, and then we're going to carry on with the rest of the story from there. But Barbados is behind them, and he looks down at Superman and Wonder Woman, and they're like, we can beat you. We've beaten gods and monsters before. And he just looks down at them and says, because I let you, and like saps all their life energy from them.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
That's bad.
And that's where it pretty much ends.
That's some World of Warcraft shit right there.
Yeah, it's something for sure. So it sets up, so that's the rest of the setup. So there's a whole bunch of tie-ins from here on out, and I will get to all of them eventually because I want to. But
we'll do them.
We'll get to them. It's gonna and the origins for the Dark Knights will go actually pretty quickly. So
yeah,
I'll be able to cover like several of those in a video at a time. So we'll get those out real quick. And then we'll carry on with the rest of the story. Because right now, where we're at, they're only at issue, I think, 5 of the Dark Knight, like, actual, run. Mm-hmm. So, but there's, 95 tie-ins in between this. So, hey, we finally got to a number 2. What's next is 7 number 1s.
Oh, no.
And then we'll get to a number 3.
We're
back to a number 1.
This is the pain in the ass for our viewers. But it's even more a pain in the ass for us because we have to number all these, and they're all number 1.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to go with part 1 and part 2. So we might need to rename one of ours. We'll get to it. But anyway, that's where we're at. So the last thing that happens is it goes back to Hawkman's journal, and it's talking about Krona again, and he's like, Chrono wanted to go back and see, like, he reached the ultimate goal. He wanted to see the creation of the universe, but he became hated for doing that. So if you venture too far into trying to discover a mystery, you might become hated by everyone. And that's kind of the point of, by Batman investigating these metals, he became the thing that caused the problem.
Yeah.
So it's the thing
Digging
of never
deep.
journey too far.
Yeah.
So, but that's where that ends. So we'll come back with all the origins of the Dark Knights, and then we will carry on from there. So that's all I got.
Thanks for coming by, folks.
Videos. So we'll put the playlist for if anyone needs to be caught up. We'll put that up on the screen. We got some Star Wars Infinities that we'll toss up on the screen as well, along with our nice subscribe button and a video that YouTube thinks that you will enjoy from us. And that's where we're at. So thank you. Goodbye. Until next time. Like, comment, subscribe, follow on Twitter, all the YouTube stuff. Goodbye.